are now entering the fourth.
Welcome to the third episode of the Fort Podcast. Congratulations, you guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.
We made it.
Round of applause for us.
Yeah, we're awesome.
Big achievement.
Third episode.
I am Ed Galvez, and with me are my two awesome co-hosts. To my right,
Kevin Ford. Hello, everyone.
and to his right is our producer and co-host.
Mike Costantini, everybody. Thank you very much.
Costantini, yeah. Get it right, people.
Hey, so how have you guys been dealing with the fame?
Oh, man. It's changed me. I gotta admit. I'm changed.
Yeah, you do seem like a jerk now.
Isn't that weird?
I mean, you're wearing sunglasses for no reason.
Yeah, and it's like I'm projecting this image of cool, but like I can't even look at myself in the mirror anymore. It's like I'm that different. Like I don't like who I've become.
It's changed you that much, huh?
Yeah, big time.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's just been, walking down the street and like just having people come up to me and be like, you are the fountainhead. You are the Ayn Rand of today's generation.
Really?
It's been really amazing. I mean, Ayn Rand was a big author and big philosopher, and
I've just got people like shouting stuff at me and throwing stuff at me. And
yeah.
So one guy tried to take my picture, and I just started wailing on him.
Really?
I was at Barney's Beanery, and some girl was like, "You raped me," and I was like, "Oh, from the podcast? Yeah, I hear you." No, you actually raped me 2 days ago. And I was like,
Oh,
all right, fine, I'll sign a glossy for you. It's like, no, you.
I thought you were gonna say like that she like pulled out a kid that kind of like half looked like you. Like you have to support us now that you're rich and famous. I'm gonna blackmail you.
No, she actually pulled like one of those like X-ray screens in front of her tummy.
You're like, that's not healthy.
I'm glad that the fame hasn't changed the three of us though. We're still really good friends and we hang out all the time.
Oh,
Shut up, peasant.
Wait, Ed, that's not like you. You haven't ever been like that before.
Yeah, just because you introduce the show doesn't mean you have power.
I can't hear you unless my wiener's in your mouth.
Okay.
Wait, Ed, get your dick out of Kevin's mouth. This is not a
that's
type
right.
of show.
Why did I agree to that?
You wanted me to understand.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, just if you're gonna hear me, and that's the only way you'll hear me, okay, fine.
See?
I'm really worried about you.
See, he's gay for communication.
Well, you know what? I've signed us up for some group therapy.
Oh yeah?
Just to handle, all the fame.
Dude, you should have talked to us. You should have talked to us about that first. That's
we're
not
gonna
cool.
we're gonna go up to Big Bear into a cabin. We're gonna just beat each other up for a week, and then
Oh, okay. So like no therapist. It's just
physically or verbally?
Verbally and verbally, abusively, and physically. Yeah.
Maybe
Done.
There'll be an avalanche that'll bury us, like in that Simpsons episode.
Yeah, and then it'll be like the ultimate partnering.
Yeah, we'll have to like
and perfect strangers.
and
that's true. Perfect Strangers.
And Full House, I think.
I love the show Perfect Strangers, mostly for the theme song.
Oh,
yeah,
it's a great theme song.
It's very inspirational.
And I think my favorite theme song of all time is probably WKRP in Cincinnati.
That's a good one.
Baby, if you've ever wondered whatever became of me.
Where are you living?
I'm living on the air in Cincinnati.
Wait, how can you live on air?
Cincinnati, WKRP.
One more time. I didn't hear you the first time.
Got kind of tired, packing and unpacking. Town to town, moving up and down the dial. Maybe you and me were never meant to be.
Not with that attitude.
Yeah.
But maybe think of me once in a while.
Where are you living again?
I've actually moved on.
I'm in WKRP in Cincinnati.
Click.
I'm calling the cops.
Whatever.
No, I do love that song.
I love that song. Yeah, there's something so sad about it, but like just amazing about it. Yeah, there's a loneliness to that song.
I like sitcoms where the only part that's sad is in the beginning, like the Taxi song.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like really sad, but then like it's all comedy.
And when you hear it, it sort of takes you back to a time in TV. It's awesome. It's great.
Mm-hmm. Nostalgia.
Yeah.
Rose tinted glasses.
I like something. I like when it was sad. Like I'm an English butler with nowhere to live. Let me in.
A very sad setup for what ended up being.
But it is a very
show.
strange land.
Or like
streets out in China. Never met her before.
Who cares?
Drop kick the jacket as you came to the door.
No one's there.
Who cares?
I like that Webster show. Like that kid was
yeah.
he was an orphan, right?
He's all streets
Do you
of
remember
Harlem.
do you remember
Never mattered before. You're white. Hey guys, pull the F together, dude. You guys, we have.
Ed, you can swear on this show. We have an explicit marking on the.
But I'm not gonna, because we have a lady on the show to this week.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Respect. I'm taking off my hat right now.
And
Okay.
you're not gonna guess who it is, because I'm just gonna tell you. It's Lizzy Cooperman, you guys.
Hey, cool.
From the Late Late Show with Craig Ferguson, and she was at the Just for Laughs festival in Montreal. She's hilarious.
She'll be a fantastic addition to our family. And after the interview, we're going to have a very exclusive Fort podcast review of the hit movie Wolfman.
It's a hit.
Well, I'm assuming it's going to become one. Wolfman with Benicio del Toro.
Yeah, it's a. You stick around for that.
Stick around for that. But before we get to the interview, let's hear a word from our sponsor.
Who's our sponsor this week?
All I know is some kind of home security company.
Ooh.
Yeah, should be interesting. Let's hear their commercial.
Home invasion is on the rise. While you're away, your property is at the mercy of thieving predators.
All right, first the electronics, then the jewelry.
You got it.
What's this?
We're trapped.
But now, you can make them pay. This house will self-destruct in 1 minute. Sorry, fellas. You've been annihilaxed.
Hi, I'm Sidney Lessman, creator of Annihilax Home Security. By the 8th time my house was robbed, I was getting pretty angry, and I realized it's not material wealth that's important, it's the taste of sweet, bloody revenge. And don't worry, my Annihilax system ensures that these bastards will die afraid. How about some death metal, boys? Yeah! And you can customize the security voice to sound like Satan.
20 seconds to self-destruct.
Or a scary robot.
10 seconds.
Or even screaming baby. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I want to live.
Annihilax Home Security. Let them take your stuff. All the way to hell. Not responsible for false alarms.
And welcome our guest, Lizzy Cooperman.
Yeah.
Hi. Woo. Yes. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Very happy to have
Keep
Lizzy
going.
Cooperman here.
Oh, Lizzy, thank you so much for coming on and being on the show.
Thank
did
you,
you have
for
any,
having me.
Did you have any trouble finding the place?
Oh, no, not at all. I had 4 donuts on my map.
There's a lot of donas up here.
Yeah, it's a bit tricky out here in the boondocks. Yeah.
It was not good. And then ended up going over the hill. And then somehow when I turned around, ended up at Hollywood Bowl, which is fine.
And dona in Spanish means donut.
Oh.
That would have helped.
Yeah. All the streets are named after donuts.
Well, donut. Doña is like lady.
Lady Donut. Yeah.
Donuts.
So how was your week? How have you been? What's new?
It's my week was amazing. Everything's skyrocketing for me. It's insane.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, just this 1 week in particular?
Do tell.
No, nothing. But yeah, Ed came to meet me at the end of, I turned on Fryman Place instead of Fryman Avenue. Have any other guests done that?
No, actually, I've never heard of that. I didn't know there were 2 Frymans.
Yeah, there's
Apparently
like
there
yeah.
And I was telling Ed, I saw Jin from Lost.
Really?
I swear, I took a left, had my hazards on, which
Yeah.
is interesting because I was lost, as Ed pointed out. And I was waiting there with my blinkers on, waiting for Ed, and I saw a guy in an SUV turn, and he looked exactly like Jin from Lost.
You guys ever find a celebrity that like only you recognize, that only means basically the other day I was on Valentine's Day. I had breakfast with my girlfriend at this Hawaiian restaurant, and the bass player for Youth Brigade walked past me, and the only people that know that are just like people that listen to punk music, which are like 30-year-old guys clinging to their youth. And so I walked past, I was like, oh my god, it's and then like I turned and like there was nobody that could like share my enjoyment. I was like, doesn't matter.
You're like, that's him.
Yeah, when I first moved to LA, I had my first job. The first time we went out for like a work lunch. I maybe was living here like a couple months, and at the restaurant we were at was the dad from Hellraiser, and I got really excited. I'm like, holy shit, it's the dad from Hellraiser!
No way.
And I was
Mr.
trying to
Hellraiser?
And I was trying to tell everybody like but nobody knew what I was talking about. They're like they kind of like yeah I guess we could kind of see it, but like they had no idea. I was the only one.
Yeah,
excited.
mine was. I worked at a kind of a B movie production company for a while. It was called PM Entertainment. And they did a lot of movies with OJ, actually, back in the day. And I remember I walked out of the bathroom one day, like at the production room, and I literally like ran into Zeus. And he was doing some,
Tiny Lister Jr.
and he looked at me like kind of with those kind of cross-eyed eyes.
Yeah,
Almost, and I'm
creepy.
like... And I just remember I bumped into him. I'm like, holy shit, Zeus. And he's like, yeah. And I, he was real nice.
Wait, you said holy shit Zeus, and he said yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was just, I didn't think I would run into the guy. It's just kind of weird. Like when you walk out of a bathroom, you don't think you're going to run into Zeus.
Does he still get people calling him Zeus after all these
Oh,
years?
yeah.
No, here's the thing. Because I actually got mad at Power 106 because since
What is Power 106?
It's where hip hop lives.
Oh, I see.
And Lizzy, you're clearly
Inspirational hip hop.
you're clearly not from Los Angeles if you don't know that.
I do 1027.
I
1027.
No, but since Indy 103 went under, like I just flip flop from KCRW, and I'm just like, oh, I'm still not this old, and then like to like K-Rock, I'm just like, yes, I guess Sublime was relevant, and then I listened to Power 106 just to keep up with what kids are listening to. But anyway, they were talking about some like it was like Rock the Bells, some like concert that was going on, and they're like, and if you show up, like you can get a chance to meet Debo from Friday, and I laughed so hard in my car that like they couldn't say Tiny Lister Jr. They're like Debo from Friday, that I actually went and friended them on Twitter just so I could at them and be like, hey, Power 106, Debo from Friday has a name, and it's the Tiny Lister Jr. or Zeus or the president from Fifth Element. And then they followed me right after that. They didn't comment back, but
radio in Los Angeles has kind of almost died out, I think, in my opinion. Like, there's no real rock stations anymore.
Yeah, everybody's just playing top 40 and whatever.
K-Rock plays real rock from the 90s.
Yeah, they do, but they also play like a lot of stuff from Fall Out Boy and
No, it's pretty much all 90s stuff, and then with Kings of Leon every now and then.
Isn't it weird when you hear an alternative song and then the guy sounds like he's from like Third Eye Blind? Like, you're like, oh, this is an underground station, and the guy would be like, you're an alternative girl at the bar wearing a black dress at the theater. And then you're like, oh, I think this is supposed to be underground. Like in your mind, you're like, okay, I get it.
That's the haunted radio station.
Alternative. You're talking about
haunted alternative.
Well, these days, I don't know if
they
you guys
trick you now.
I don't know if
they
you
just
guys
give references, and you're supposed to be like, oh yeah, that's underground because you're making underground references, but there's nothing interesting about it.
Well, these days with like emo rock, like all the bands, they tend to sound the same. I don't know if you guys know that.
Yeah,
I can't tell the difference. Like you just have this really good singer actually, because emo rock takes pretty good vocals, but you just can't like really differentiate between the bands.
It's like they're mass engineered.
Yeah.
Well, some suck more than others.
Yeah.
But pretty much just different degrees of suck.
They're all pretty derivative. Yeah.
Can I say who I saw the other day?
Please.
At Aroma Cafe. Aroma.
Good job.
Danny DeVito.
Hey.
That was a great sighting because you were like, you're not an Us Weekly. I grew up with you. Like, you know what I mean? It was like a good, substantial sighting.
Yeah, everybody loves Danny DeVito.
No,
And
it
we're-
wasn't like someone you read about 3 times in a magazine. It was like someone you're like, you were in Twins, almost accusingly. I saw you. I saw you. Like, it was amazing. And he was like, excuse me, can I? Why is my impression of him just like the guy from Weekend Update?
John Lovitz, the annoying man.
I'm like a lemon for my water.
No, that's Rick Shapiro.
Yes.
What's your favorite celebrity you've ever run into here?
My favorite experience with the celebrity. You know, I used to work at this boutique on Melrose, and we had a lot of celebrity clients. I helped Kris Jenner a lot. She likes tuxedo-inspired clothing. But the best was one day we got a call, and they were like, can you guys close all your windows and lock all your doors? We have a car coming with a celebrity. And we're like, who is it? And they're like, oh, we can't tell you who it is. And in my mind, I was like, I bet it's going to be Britney Spears. And I was helping this woman, And I felt like it was going to be a big sale, so I didn't want to be like, you have to leave, because I worked on commission. And I was like, look, they want everyone to leave the store. I was like, if you're okay with having a celebrity here, I would love to keep working with you. It's just we can't, talk to the celebrity or make it really obvious that we know they're there, which is so weird. But she was like, oh, yeah. She goes, my kids go to school with a lot of people who have, like, parent celebrities. And I was like, okay, cool. Then stay and shop. So we close all the doors. Lo and behold, it's Britney, her sister, and her mom come in. And we're very nice, And my woman, I just saw her behavior, like, immediately change. Like, suddenly she was, like, coming out of the fitting room more being like, I think I need this in a smaller size. Like, trying to, like, impress the Spears, And then, it was so bad. Like, Brittany and her family came up to the register, and my woman was like, oh, I love that. Like, she started looking at the clothes they were buying and, like, touching them, being like, I'll try this on. And I was like, oh, in my head, like, I made a deal with you. We had a pact. We were blood sisters. And so she goes, could you grab me this in a size 6? And I was like, sure. So I ran into the back room and I gave the woman the size 6 skirt or whatever it was. And while I moved through the curtain on one side, she comes out of the curtain on the other side, and she looks at Brittany and goes, you're looking very well. It's good to see you. Like, sympathetically and patronizingly. And I was just like, my whole self just crumbled. Like, suddenly I was on Brittany's side.
Yeah.
Like, suddenly I was like, don't fuck with Brittany. Like, I felt like
that guy in the YouTube.
like, I needed to be there for her. Like, it was at a time when, like, a year and a half going. Felt like she was going through a lot. I don't really follow the tabloids.
Did Brittany like explode though during that, or did she just?
She shaved her head.
No, she was very polite.
Wow.
She was like, "Thank you." She was actually very nice. And when they left, I actually said to the woman, I was like, I was like shaking. You know when you're so mad that your blood just boils and you're like, "Why am I shaking?" Mm-hmm. I said, "Why did you say that?" Like, I was like, "I don't care if I make money now. I'm just mad at you." And she was like, I'm so sorry. I just felt like I had to say something. And I was like, well, you broke a promise. Suddenly I was like the sales associate with like, I was the mouthpiece of morality as like a sales girl. But that was my... That was my favorite one because it was so revealing of her character. Yeah. Like, I want to be able to go home and tell my Beverly Hills friends that I told Britney Spears that I cared about her and I hope she was doing well. Like, she was like the care. You know when someone feels like low, they try to turn into like the den mother or like, oh, I'm going to take care of you. Like, that's what it brought out in her.
I just think it's amazing that you saw into the future and you're like, this is going to probably be Britney Spears. And it came to life.
That was great intuition.
Why? How would you know that? Like, what's the instinct? Are you psychic or?
My mom is. I'm like, my mother is. My mom was for a while. She used to like read.
She's not anymore?
No, she lost her touch. Let me tell you.
Was that possible?
Everything she touches now turns to barbecued chicken.
Now, hold on. Is that
a lot of barbecued chicken?
That's good. Yeah. Sign me up.
Is that possible?
Sounds like she gained her touch.
If someone is psychic, they're always psychic, aren't they? I mean, how would she...
Yeah, all I know is my mom was like, she like took classes. Like, she'd be like, Lizzie, she'd be like, I was talking to Elaine Herman today, and she said, Diane, sometimes I think I'm two people. And I said, that's because you are Elaine. You are two people. I'd be like, Mom, Elaine Herman drinks Jamba Juice and plays racquetball. She's not two people. Like, what? Like, should we just come up with these things that she felt like were, like, sent to her, you know?
Lizzie, one person drinks Jamba Juice. The other person plays racquetball.
Oh, so she is two people. She is.
No two people do those two things at the same time.
Yeah.
The Britney thing was just like, who else would be like, I'm calling in advance? You know, because we had a lot of people.
It's great intuition.
We had, like, Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie, and they never were like, close the doors. It's like, who's that?
Put me in TMZ.
Yeah.
I'm famous for nothing other than being famous. Why do I not want to be seen?
She seemed like a good egg, though. She seemed good.
Good
I
to
will
know.
be the authority on how Britney is.
You heard it here first, people.
Reporting, you know, in magazines where it's like a source says, that's me.
Yeah.
I am always the source.
I never get really starstruck or anything. The only time I ever have, I was with a good friend of mine. We were at the Virgin Megastore down on Sunset, and we were about to get in the elevator to go up, and the elevator door opens up, and lo and behold, there's Slash in the elevator. And I told my friend, I'm like, whoa, it's Slash, you know.
And isn't he in an elevator in one of his videos? Or is he just smashing a telephone?
No. That,
Well, in one video, he's just in bed with a snake, ignoring the montage.
He's
the
Harry
montage
Potter.
of
He's Harry Potter.
girls getting naked. There's like he's like in his bed, but the snake is all, hey, what's up, Snakey? And then on the side of him, there's like a girl in like a red like bra and panties and a girl in black bra and panties. They're just like showing like he has like different girls every night, but like he doesn't bone them because he's busy playing with his snake.
the funny thing was, he looked like he was right out of Guns N' Roses, though, like right out of one
He
of
is
the
right
videos.
out of Guns N' Roses.
You're right, yeah. But like right out of the video.
Like
you
he
know,
just
like,
got
he
done
actually
playing a
dresses
show.
like that.
It's like he was right out of Guns N' Roses.
Well, I mean, like
Sebastian Bach, he looks like he was just right out of Skid Row.
he was right out of a video, though. Like he actually does dress like that just when he hangs out, you know.
Did he have that? Did he have a?
He didn't have the hat. He didn't have the hat.
That's what I associate.
But all these people walked in the elevator because we were all trying to get up, and I was actually elbow to elbow, you know, like smashed up against Slash.
How do you know who he is? Because the hair is always...
You know who it is. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, just the hair itself, you know. But you knew it was
so
Slash.
he still has the hair.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I
He
didn't
has
know.
the hair.
Maybe it was...
Was he wearing
In a
big
pompadour.
dark glasses?
This,
He
mind
didn't
you,
get
mind you,
shorn.
this was
Slash's gelled, spiky look.
He's
Nah.
doing swing music now. Like
this was like
he opens for Brian Setzer.
yeah, the
This was-
Slash Orchestra.
well, he did, you know. He has played for Michael Jackson quite a bit. You know,
What?
he's pretty versatile.
Oh yeah, because he did the that's what he did with Michael Jackson.
Anyway, I ended up next to him, and you know, he's kind of one of my idols because that's how I learned to play guitar.
Oh.
Is by
Doing coke and blacking out on
exactly,
Jack
and then like
Daniels.
you know, playing Guns N' Roses tunes, and you know, I was next to him, and I'm like, man, this is pretty cool. What do I say to him? You know,
Right.
and the elevator was really packed, and he just turned over to me, and he's like, dude, this sucks, you know. And then I looked at him, and I'm like, yeah, man, it does. And that was all I ever said to him.
He should have been like
Yeah.
the spaghetti incident.
Yeah, that's very true. I didn't like that.
And then
Although Slash did a good job because he was limited to pentatonic scales on that album, and he still made good solos.
That's
yeah.
my so satisfied man.
Yeah.
I met Stalker Channing. That was the most starstruck I've ever been.
Well, really?
You know, Stalker Channing. She's one of my favorite actresses. And I was starstruck when I met
What'd she do?
Sandra Bernhard's cousin.
Really?
I was like, oh my God. Stalker Channing. Have you ever seen 6 Degrees of Separation? It's a play, too.
That was
And
Will
she's-
Smith.
Stalker Channing. She's on West Wing, too.
Yeah, she was
Yeah,
in
I
Grease.
used to watch West Wing actually. Yeah.
She's great. But very short.
Like how short is short?
Tragically short.
How high? How tall
I don't
would
know.
you say?
How
Yeah.
high is she?
How high? How tall?
She's no. Oh, we're on a podcast, so I can't do that. Yay, tall.
So maybe like
You at home, you can't see her hair.
she's
Her hand
tall.
just raised about yay
Over 4
high.
feet.
her
5
hand
feet.
is approximately 3 apples
Yeah.
high.
She's about twice the size of her aviator sunglasses.
huh, wow.
Wow. She's like a fry guy.
She's a chess piece. She is a chess piece.
I saw
That's what
Kiefer
people don't
Sutherland
know.
on the street one time, and that guy is tiny.
Actually, you know what?
But it's crazy because he's like America's badass. Jack Bauer.
I'll
but
top
he's
you all with celebrity sightings that's short. When I first moved to LA, I was working at the Olive Garden in Westwood. Not to brag, you guys can kiss my rings later. Anyway, nothing sadder than seeing Gary Coleman hit on a 19-year-old waitress and have that 19-year-old waitress turn him down. Like he was there with like these 2 like older like chubby chicks, and he was like trying to put on the charm. He's like, "Oh, are you going to school? Oh, that's very interesting. Can I take you out sometime?"
That's very interesting.
Yeah, and
You go to school?
I like how your Gary Coleman impression is
the
the
same.
caterpillar from Alice in Wonderland. You go to school? Who are you?
You know,
what's your impression of Jin from Lost?
You'll see.
I was gonna say, Ed,
You'll
it's funny.
see in season 6.
The
What if they have
the amazing thing about being in LA is you end up next to a lot of these celebrities, you know.
That's one of the main reasons to move here.
And you mentioned Gary Coleman, and the funny thing is, I actually ran into Gary Coleman at a very unlikely place.
Show off.
I am kind of a train enthusiast, so I was at a model train store.
That's very autistic of you.
Yes, and I've been often.
Somebody had to say it. Thank you.
Yeah. Gary Coleman is
Emphasis
actually
on odd.
Gary Coleman is actually a train enthusiast, and he was at the same model train store I was. On 3 different occasions, I've seen him at it.
No
Wow.
way.
Yeah, no, I swear
Is
to
it in
God.
Culver City?
Is
Culver
it American
City, yeah.
Girl Place?
Culver City.
Me-
the train shack, or
Yeah.
not the train shack. The I forgot the name of it, but it's in Culver City.
I walk
train
past
shack.
that place every time I go eat at Faux Show, which is a pho restaurant.
Looks like a train station.
And then me and Olivia are always constantly like, "Oh, we need to go in there and buy something for Mike."
Yeah, exactly.
But it's always closed when we go in.
Every time I've gone in there on 3 separate occasions, I swear to God, Gary Coleman was there, and he was always arguing with one of the employees because he would come in and he'd be like, he'd have his like steam engine, and he'd be like, "I'm telling you, it's crooked," and the
Like his psyche.
no, yeah, and the guy would be like, "Well, that's what I told you last time, Gary, and I said that to you, and you called me crazy."
It's Mr. Coleman to you.
Yeah, and then they got into talking, and he's like, "So Gary, what are you doing these days?" And Gary's like, "Well, I just did a video game called Going Postal, and it's where I actually act in the game, and like you go postal, and at the end you have to fight me." And the guy was just laughing his ass off. He's
Did you say it like that was an acting choice? Like, I've actually decided to just work in video games now.
Unfortunately, I don't know, but he wasn't laughing at him. He was laughing with him. He's like, "Gary, that's
Okay.
You could tell he was like
And
a
now we're
regular guy.
What does
laughing
that
at him.
mean?
Yeah.
But no. I'm going at the reality of Gary Coleman. But I love the
He
choice.
sits on
of,
phone books.
What?
He brings back the phone book. Remember, he'd always sit on a phone book. He'd be like, and then he would go to make the call, but he would be on the stack. He brought back the phone book.
There's a
If we
clip.
can bring back different strokes, we can bring back the phone book.
Yeah, John Lovitz invented it.
Yeah.
There's a clip online this week of Gary Coleman going crazy on The Insider and walking off set and like cursing up a storm.
The Insider?
I think it was The Insider. It's one of those Hollywood
Yeah.
gossip shows because he went to jail for beating on his girlfriend or something, and
Yeah.
then he went on the show.
Yeah, his girlfriend's a pussy. If you're getting beat up by Gary Coleman, no one should beat up. No one should beat up anybody. But if you're getting beat up by Gary Coleman, you're a pussy.
I think that was the reporter question that set him off. Yeah, and he was like he put 2 and 2 together, and he was like, "Fuck you guys, you're making fun of me." That's my Gary Coleman, by the way.
I had a short celebrity. Prince is very short.
Oh, yeah.
When I lived in Minneapolis, he's from Minneapolis. He has that whole Paisley Park thing. I worked in this boutique, and it was women's clothing, but he liked one designer, and he would just buy their sweaters in a medium. And he came in, and I didn't know who it was. He was wearing this like black, like A-line dress and like this gold chunky necklace that said #1.
Yeah.
And when he came in, everyone was kind of like shocked, and I was like, "Oh my God, maybe this guy is like a criminal or something." And he bought tons of stuff, and he paid me in cash. And I can't believe this. I did that thing where you take the money and you hold it up to the light
To make sure if it's real.
I was like, my boss is gonna kill me.
One of the richest
know.
guys in music, probably.
Yeah, and the weird thing was, Beat It was playing because we, and he
weird.
asked me to change the station.
Ooh,
Wow.
Whew, bitter.
a little bit of
bitter.
professional jealousy there.
Yeah, a little professional jealousy.
Interesting.
A very good friend of mine was working at a studio called Glenwood, which is right by here. It's a music studio. They record, TV show music and bands come in. Actually, Prince came in one day, and I think he was just kind of fooling around the studio. Like, he was just blowing money. Like, he had a girl with him. They were both dressed in white. He ordered like $100 of Chinese food and ate like maybe a small portion of it. And he gave the rest to my friend, and he brought it back to my place. So we had.
They're gonna say he gave the rest to China.
That would have been nice, but he gave the rest of it to my friend. So we ate his leftover Chinese food. But
China
the funniest thing, Lizzy, the funniest thing is, he said that while Prince was there, he went outside. They had a basketball hoop, and Prince in his white suit was playing basketball.
Like the Dave
It's
Chappelle
like
sketch.
it's like that Chappelle story.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Apparently, it's true. He's actually a really good basketball player.
Charlie Murphy doesn't lie.
He doesn't lie. Yeah. So it's proof in the pudding,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I got to eat Prince's leftover Chinese food.
I like that
Hot.
part.
Not many
Can I
people can
clap
say
into
that.
this? You just got an applause break.
Yeah. Afterwards, I went and got tested for STDs and things like that. But
And what'd you get?
I was fine.
You tested MSG positive.
You tested Emma. Oh, you.
That can be fatal.
Save it for the stage, sweetie. Save it for the
Anyway,
stage.
so Lizzy, you're a hot Hollywood comedian. Do you live alone or do you have roommates?
Yeah,
or like,
now I live alone.
What?
I had a bad experience, and it went something like this. So this is home.
Nice place.
It's not much, but I like it.
I had a great time with you tonight.
Well, the night's not over yet. Can I make you a drink?
Sure thing. A beer's great.
You got it. I'll be right back. Make yourself at home.
Where's the restroom?
It's the second door down the hall.
Oh shit! What the fuck?
Get off of him! Get off of him! Ed, this is Zombie. This is Ed.
Nice to meet you.
Brains.
Zombie, weren't you going out tonight?
Brains.
Well, you should get going.
Brains.
Bye, Zombie.
What the fuck was that?
It's my roommate.
Yeah, but what the fuck was that?
Zombie is a little weird.
Zombie is a fucking zombie.
And he's gone. You and I are alone. Do you want to talk about Zombie still, or do you want to enjoy the night?
Done.
I believe I owe you a drink.
No argument here.
I'll be right back.
All right, I'm dimming the lights. Mood music.
If you're warm, you can open the window.
Yeah, I will open the window. What the fuck? Back!
Zombie, let go of him right now.
Brains.
Ed, give us a moment. Next room now.
Brains.
What are you doing? This is my first date in months.
Brains.
And I really like him.
Brains.
Zombie, just because I'm seeing someone new doesn't mean he's going to come between us.
Brains.
Yes, we will still have our Monopoly Mondays.
Brains.
I love you, Zombie.
I brains you.
Now, please, Zombie, go, and we'll go to the farmer's market in the morning. I am so sorry about that.
I don't know what to say.
I know, I'm so sorry.
What you're doing is not safe.
I beg your pardon?
You're living with a zombie.
So?
It's a threat to everyone in the neighborhood.
Don't be silly.
What is Zombie doing right now?
Feeding on the brains of locals.
See?
I don't like it when he gets in my business, so I stay out of his.
That's just terrible.
Look.
And irresponsible.
Look, Zombie is gone, okay? Let's just make the most of tonight, okay?
No. This is fucked up and weird. I'm out of here.
You know, I thought you were different, but as it turns out, you're just like all the other guys.
Yeah. Well, tonight's been fun. And have a nice life.
Brains.
No! Get back!
I am so sorry I was mean to you. I will never let another guy come between us.
Brains.
Can I have one bite?
Brains.
Nope, still don't like it. Should I set up the Monopoly?
Ooh, brains.
Wow,
It sounds like a very complicated relationship.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, my roommate's horrible. A nightmare.
I'm not surprised it didn't work out. That didn't sound healthy.
Lizzy, being that you're an attractive stand-up, do you get a lot of guys like coming on to you after shows that you do, or
Usually before.
Really?
Watch my stand up. After.
do you have any like interesting
meet
stories
people.
of like random just try to pick up?
I've had a couple people latch on and not let go.
Really?
Explain. Can
I've
you
had a
elaborate?
couple-
Stalker-ish? Or-
Elaborate.
Look,
What
they're
was the
probably
creepiest-
listening to this right now.
Okay, but okay, let's say his name was Dico D'Amico. Tell us about Dico D'Amico.
Because they're right.
don't even know what this is about.
Or
I've had
Flanagan
a lot of,
O'Hanlon.
you know, Facebook stuff happens. There's one guy, my friends and I found out he made like a montage. Like he would communicate with like 3 of us. There were me. My English is great.
There were me.
There were me.
Oh, okay.
It was me
I
and
like
2 of
there
my
were
friends.
me. Like,
and
he
this
has a-
guy would always like comment on everything, even if you know, he would just comment on every
Every single thing you posted.
picture, every
Yeah.
post.
Wow.
Isn't it weird that we say that now? Every post, like that's part of our vocabulary.
Yep.
But it happens.
It's true life. It's living in America. That's what you
Yeah.
get.
Yeah, right now, right? Mm-hmm. Do you remember when like you couldn't find your way to a party and you'd be like, you could just be like, yeah, sorry, I couldn't find it, and then go
Totally.
home instead of calling. Be like, yeah, there wasn't a payphone, and now it's like
Do you remember
there's more
payphones?
almost responsibility.
Yeah, I remember.
Do you remember
having-
payphones?
I own all the payphones in this city. I will have you now. If I still strongly
I kinda
believed
miss
in
payphones.
payphones, I brought the
like,
payphones.
like having to stop at a 7-Eleven and call
Yeah.
the party to
Every
Yeah,
say
every
that
I'd be
I'm
like-
lost.
I see a
and-
I took a
payphone,
left
I'm like,
on.
wow.
I took a left on Don Dorothea. Or what was it? Coming here, Dona, whatever.
Donna Scarecrow. Donna Tin Man.
Dona mi amor,
You called us from the
baby.
payphone at the Hollywood Bowl.
Easy.
yeah.
We don't want
I
people
get
knowing where we are.
crazies. Yeah, I've had a lot of crazies.
We have a lot
But
of
some
fans
of them
too.
have been well-meaning. I bet you guys know. But some people are well-meaning, and you're like, you know, you have to decide: is this person just like comedy? Because that's the point of it, right? Like, you don't want to be like, oh, the person's stalking me. To like, if someone's a fan of what you do,
Oh,
and like
yeah.
write them off. So there's that line of like, well, maybe they do like, you know, if you post like, I'm at the apple orchard tonight. Not that that's a show, but maybe someone would want to start.
It's
a
the kind
show
of thing
called The
like
Apple Orchard.
you announce a show, but you hope they don't come.
Yeah, and there's always one person who always likes it and is always online, and it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Have you had to?
it's like,
kind
give
of,
me your money. They must have money.
It's like you want to encourage their fanship, but not their loveship.
Yeah, well, like,
necessarily.
where's the line between like, hey, I'm always looking at your show, and like,
Have you had
hey,
to?
stop coming to the show?
Have you had to define that line at all? Like, have you
Yes.
actually had to say, "Listen, stay away from me. You creep me out."
Like, still come to my show, but
I've said thank you so much. I don't have time to read your message. Like I've said, you've sent me a lot of messages. Right now, I don't have time to read them. You know, like sometimes you get a message from someone. It could be a voicemail. It could even be a friend who calls you and you're like, you just have that instinct, a resistance. They're like, I don't want to answer this. But if that happens, and now with like the BlackBerry, things coming up, and it's like, zzz, zzz,
Well,
and
yeah.
every time you check it, it's like,
That's another
George
thing.
Schmorge wants you to become a fan of, and it's like, you have to leave me alone.
Do you remember
Now,
I actually, Lizzie, I actually still have an answering machine. Believe it or not, I still have a landline, and it's true. Like, do you remember when that was the only means of
Yeah.
leaving a message?
Yeah.
Like, it's the answering machine.
I like that.
But do you know, like, nowadays it's like it's impossible because now you are connected. Like, on my BlackBerry, I can get my emails
Yeah.
directly loaded to me, text messages.
People will be like, I can't believe you didn't get my event invitation.
yeah.
It's like, you really think I go through a folder? Like, how many folders would you have to go through and be really like,
Yeah.
you know, to like get to the. I don't want to.
Yeah, I love technology, and I really do. I love technology. But it's true, like,
You have to carve out a
cannot-
place for yourself in it.
you can
or
no
you're
longer
just-
you can no longer say, "Oh, I didn't get your message." Like now,
Right.
it's impossible not to get a message.
People get mad at me on Facebook if I don't join their group that they send me. Like, join this group.
I
and
don't join. I just
ignore
don't
it
check
and
that whole sheet.
People
I don't
get
check
mad.
It.
Yeah,
I don't want to be I don't know.
No, Kevin. Like seriously, why do you keep denying my no on Prop 8 group?
Ah,
Well, it's not denying. It's just ignoring.
No, you deny it because like when I tried to re-add you, like if you didn't accept it, like it was still like waiting, like oh I couldn't ask you to do it again, but you deny it every time.
Yeah,
like why?
Like, how many
Like, what do you-
follow-ups
what
do you
have
gotta
against-
send, Ed,
what
before
do
you get the message?
What do you have
huh?
against gay marriage? Like seriously.
I just think there's right and there's wrong and that's wrong. You know, I'm sorry.
there's right and there's wrong.
Kevin, you're Republican. I didn't know that.
No,
I'm just kidding.
No,
I'm a fucked up
he's
Democrat.
against Prop 8. But he's more against Prop 8 groups.
I believe in the sanctity of marriage, even though I don't
He's
plan
a
on
prop
getting married.
master.
Yeah.
Based on all this,
Prop master.
I just wanted to let all you listeners know we have a Facebook page, so please join our group. Yeah.
Do we?
Awesome.
See, I haven't even joined that because, like, I'm like, what the
I
fuck?
haven't even been added.
You will.
I haven't even added?
Yeah, you will.
That's what you
You
sound
will,
like.
yeah. We'll all be. It's true though. I get 1,000. I get 1,000 event invitations through Facebook.
Through things that aren't even going on.
Right,
in the
and
city.
I do feel
You're like,
kind of.
this is in New York. Like, why are you?
I feel kind of bad because sometimes I feel like I'm trying to look for excuses not to go to things, but I feel like now I have to have like 100 excuses not to go to things, you know?
Well, there's excuses like in the Facebook. You could just say, sorry, there was this other event that I got. I'm sure you got it too.
Oh, I didn't think
But
of
then
that.
people
That's actually
sneak
good.
it in and they go, no, it's a message sent to you. It's not an event invitation. I'm sending you a message saying, come to this tonight. Just don't friend groups. Don't friend the graphic T-shirt companies.
Except
those
for
are the ones who are going to destroy it.
Except for the Fort podcast, you can friend that group.
The Fort. Yeah,
And
join the
Ed
Fort.
Galvez
Join the
podcast.
Fort. Yep. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Retract.
and fans of Lizzy Cooperman.
Have you ever had though, Lizzie, like a guy that you kind of actually fear, like one of those guys that gets a little too close? You know?
Yeah.
Have you ever been
What's
afraid
been
for
your
your
experience
life?
with that?
The weirdest ones are when they haven't seen your comedy, but they've just seen you around. That's worse because you want to be like, you don't even know what you're getting.
That's how you know it's
No,
disingenuous.
you don't know what you're getting into, but like, do you understand? Like, I hate when, what Ed brimming.
That's kind of what happened because Kevin was like, "Hey, let's start a podcast. We can get this girl that I've seen around town, and we can get her as a guest." I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, let's start a podcast." I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah. And you all said it was creepy, and look how it worked out. Sitting next to me. Told you it would work, fellas.
I've had that. People also think when you're a comedian that they can like be more open with you about like, you know, after a show, people telling me like, I got a joke for you, and I'll be like, so dirty. I'm like, I don't even really do dirty stuff. I don't actually. But to have someone be like, here's a joke, you know what I mean? Like, I think people just assume camaraderie, which is fine. Like, I want to connect with people. I have that need too. I'm a human.
Yeah.
But I don't need to be like, I have boundaries, obviously, also as a person, you know?
Everybody's got their own rules and boundaries, and it's up to
Which
us
I'm
to figure out
learning in
what they
therapy. I can have boundaries.
I think those people just need to like stay home and watch like cable.
Yeah, totally.
As far as relationships go, like, have you had relationships where it's tough when you're like a stand-up comedian or you know, where the guys look at it as weird or anything? I always ask that to
No, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I tend to choose funny people who like it.
Yeah.
Like, my thing is I'm attracted to funny people. I've had things where I've been like, are you mad that I've had some things where I felt like there may be an element of competitivism, like,
If you're in entertainment, I mean, it is competitive to some degree.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody has
Yeah.
that experience, yeah.
Like,
But
deep
just
down, I don't
being
want
funny-
you guys getting more successful than me. You know, like, I love you guys. I totally, we're friends, but
Well, that's
like,
why we're all going to get, you know, successful together, Kevin.
it better be together. I'm going to be so bitter otherwise.
Lizzie, what kind of TV do you like?
I actually watched one of the things on the Food Network that I really liked.
Really? Like what?
There were actually a couple things. One was a competition of like who was going to get their next show. Did you see that one?
No, I don't watch Food Network. I don't have TV.
Seems like they have that show on every channel.
Wait,
yeah.
Ed, you
The
don't
thing
you
I don't
don't
like
have
about
TV?
the thing I don't like about food reality shows is you can't eat it. Like, at least on Project Runway, you can see the thing,
And you can
but
eat
you
the clothes?
can't.
Oh, so for all you know, the
At
judges are
least-
full of shit.
Right.
You're like, that doesn't
Yeah,
taste good.
you're like, I don't
You
know.
lie.
How do I know exactly?
Yeah, like really smoky. It tastes smoky. How am I supposed to know that? Bullshit.
But there's also this other show I love, which is, have you guys seen this guy Hector Van Nectar?
No, I never heard of it.
Actually, I have, and I actually recorded an episode of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Welcome to Sammy's Smiling Burgers. My name is Walter McMalter. May I take your order?
Yes. I would like to start with an order of French fries, doused generously in sea salt, as if they've emerged from a great and open sea, a sea brimming with danger.
Great! Can I start you off with a drink?
A Diet Coke, please. Thank you, Walter McMalter. My name is Hector Van Nectar, and this is the Haunted Food Review.
Okay, here's your Diet Coke, and your fries are on the way. Are you ready to order?
When the second hand of the grand clock orbits once around the face of time, I will be ready to declare my imminent future. In other words, I'm gonna need a minute.
Cool, man.
Again, this is Hector Van Nectar, and this is the Haunted Food Review! The Diet Coke boils, toil and trouble. Each bubble a face popping into the eye of my lash, my tongue whipping, curling. The straw a dagger, I lick your wounds. This carbonated hell of Diet Coke makes a pretty animal in my womb. Another sip and again, I rate this Diet Coke a 10.
And here are your fries. Are you ready to order?
I'll have an avocado turkey burger, medium well.
Great. I'll be right back with that.
And now, the fries. Soggy, like a killer's galoshes on the night of a great storm. The fries, your greatest demise would be much better with paprika or chives. I give these fries a 5.
And here's your gyro with extra lettuce.
Would you repeat that, please?
And here's your gyro.
That's not what I ordered! Service score lowered to a...
Hi, Hector, right? Hey, my name is Randall Frandle. I'm the manager here at Sammy's Smiling Burgers and a huge fan of the Haunted Food Review. The way you compare meatballs to eyeballs is... Well, anyway, I just want to thank you for strangling Walter McWalter. He's been working here for 7 years, and he still mispronounces Cairo. I know we're a burger place, not a Greek restaurant, but did you know that the burger was invented in Greece by Sir Cairo Myro Cairotron? That's why we honor him here at Sammy's Burgers. I want him to offer you a free entree as a reward. So what will it be?
I'll take the gyro with some Walter McMalter on the side.
Oh, hello. I'm here to pick up my husband, Walter McMalter. I'm Rebecca McMalter. Where is he? Stars and garters. You're Hector Van Nectar of the Haunted Food Review. I'm your biggest fan. Where's my husband? He has to meet you.
This is awkward. Would you like some fries?
Oh, I would love some.
I'm going to watch that show.
I thought it was very intriguing, actually. I watched it and I couldn't stop watching it.
What I think is fascinating
It was kind of one of those train wrecks that
what
just
I think
happens.
is that Hector Van Nectar, wait, was that his name?
Van Nectar.
Hector Van Nectar has a womb. He's a guy, but he has a womb.
You know what I like about that is finally the Food Network puts out a show that teaches you about food. Thank you. I'm learning something.
And it's just a burger place. It
Yeah.
doesn't have to be some crazy.
It's not reality shows.
Yeah.
Like 6 Italians living in a house, and
It's like a blue collar version of their other shows.
Actually,
And scary.
The Food Network just plays music videos now. Like they don't show any.
Yeah. They used to have food shows, man. They totally sold out.
Lizzy,
yeah.
I'm a fan, and so where can I find out about your shows that are coming up?
Well, I have this weekend. You're in for a treat. Do you like when people say that? They always say that before a comic. They're like, and now you're in for a treat. You are going to have a treat. Are you ready for it?
Yeah.
Friday night, tomorrow, I'm at 12 Shiny Nickels at Gardner Stages.
Oh, that's a
Starts
great
at 11 p.m. The Nickels are 5-minute sets.
Oh, I get it.
So 12 comics, each doing 5 minutes. Saturday night, you guys aren't going to believe this. I'm doing a show at a place called, it's a festival. It's called Julicious.
I don't believe it.
It's called Julicious. You're not going. You would not have been going to believe this. Julicious in Long Beach.
Awesome.
And it's a festival. I did it last year. It was insane. It was like Jewish.
yeah.
Curls, yarmulke. It's an amazing festival.
Wow, cool.
All these people come out to Long Beach. They buy a ticket. It's like $150, $200, and they stay there. They stay at the Jewish Community Center in Long Beach. And there's tons of entertainers. Modest Yahu's going to be there.
My God, I was just about to ask.
He's amazing.
I actually listened to him. Rapper, really cool. Jewish rapper.
I heard him on NPR
Yeah.
a couple years ago.
Yeah, he's really good. That's amazing. I was just about to ask. Is he going to perform at it?
Yeah, he is like one of the main attractions.
Yeah, he's really, really good.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's so good. And then Sunday, I'm at the Unknown Theater. And then the 24th.
Oh, I'm at the Unknown Theater this Sunday.
You are?
Yeah.
Guess what, Ed? We're the best of alternative comedy.
Yeah.
So says Sean Carr.
What? Really?
Sean, he put the show together, right?
Yeah.
Sean? Yeah, he's cool. Sax.
Yeah. I thought he said that about us specifically.
Oh.
But I didn't know that
That's
was
the name of the show. It's
Okay.
The best of it. And then the 24th, I'm doing a benefit for breast cancer at the National Comedy Theater. Sarah Silverman.
because sometimes we lag a little bit on putting out an episode. Where can somebody do you have like a schedule that we can go to online?
Yeah, I've been pretty good about my blog. I'm going to say it's a
Where can I see your blog?
Lizzy, well, if you go to Lizzy Cooperman, and it's not Leslie, not Lindsay, but Lizzy. Lizzcooperman. I can't really take it seriously. Cooperman. Like,
Quit talking like a single mother.
I repeat. Lizzy Cooperman, Lizzy with the Y, Cooperman.com. That site will automatically put you at my blog.
Cool.
And there's automatic updates to your schedule
Yeah,
and
and
what
I have
you'll
my
be
shows
doing.
on there, a little video action.
Just so listeners know, we'll
Yeah,
have a
but I
we'll have,
update it regularly.
We'll have a link to Lizzie's.
Did you say Lava Link?
No. We will have a link to your.
I was like, who are you? So a lava link?
We will have a
embed.
lava link. Yeah, actually.
What was that they were saying earlier? Embed. Oh, they say share or embed. But like it's a fortune cookie, like embed. Like at the end of everything.
We will have
They
a.
won't understand it.
Yeah, they will.
We'll
you know
put a
what
link
says
to-
embed, EMBED? We were saying, what if that was like what you put at the end of a fortune cookie?
We'll put a link to your
Embed.
website on our website. In bed.
Yeah,
Did.
But we will have a link to Lizzie's site. On
Yeah,
our,
so come to thefortcast.com
Yeah.
for all things Lizzy Cooperman.
Yep.
Thank you.
and come to
And
Lizzy,
good night.
Lizzy, please come back soon.
Oh, I'll be back.
Oh, it's
And Hector. With only rhyming names, darling.
you just haunted our podcast.
I haunted the podcast.
It's not even
Wait,
close.
can
it's
I
not even
haunt
close
it one
to
more?
Halloween.
Can I haunt it one more time?
Yeah.
Sure.
Macbeth.
Oh, you just cursed it too.
No, but it's not a theater, so
Right.
Oh, none of us will
Exactly.
die. Okay.
if you did it in the home theater, then it'll
In
be
the home
haunted.
theater.
Don't give her ideas.
I think Lizzie should be our Halloween guest this year
Oh,
because she's very good at the Halloween
Special
music.
Halloween
Yeah.
I think
haunting. guest.
Anytime she wants to come back, I
Anytime.
say we have her.
thank you.
Yep, Halloween.
I love it. I love it.
All right. Thank you so much, Lizzy Cooperman.
Thank you.
Yay! Come back for my birthday.
Okay.
Now stay tuned because we're gonna review the Wolfman.
Ooh, more spookiness. Coming up next. I'm going to talk about the movie we all watched together called Wolfman with Benicio del Toro as said Wolfman and Anthony Hopkins. Ooh. And Hugo Weaving. Ooh. And Emily Blunt. Ooh.
I have to say I'm a big fan of Anthony Hopkins and Benicio del Toro.
Fine actors.
Yeah,
Both of them.
I was very excited about this movie.
I was excited too.
Yeah,
It's rated R. It's gory. And there's a werewolf. You know, like what's not to like?
I was excited until we saw it.
Yeah, it dissipated pretty fast. The
What? You
excitement.
didn't like Terrible?
Yeah, I agree. I was expecting a lot more. I think maybe my hopes were too high for this
I was
movie.
expecting bullshit.
Really? That's good.
I got burned by the Dracula movie with Anthony Hopkins years ago.
yeah.
Because I was like, yeah, that's gonna
Francis
be awesome.
Ford Coppola. I actually.
Wait, you're still holding a grudge against Hopkins?
Yeah.
Like after all that time?
I'm just saying it looked the same way, like the way they were selling it. No, I'm just like, I've been burned before.
Well, also the
okay.
fact that Anthony Hopkins hadn't aged since that movie, which was over 10 years ago.
he's sober now.
He used to be a wild man?
It's called Alcoholics Anonymous, but he's sober.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Huh.
Good for him conquering his demons.
Or trying.
Or trying
At
to
least
conquer his.
But that's pretty good though. I mean, you look the same for like over 10 years. I mean, that's pretty amazing.
He must be doing something
How
right.
old do you think Anthony Hopkins is?
He looks like he's 45.
He's 46.
Oh, good for him.
He must have sold his soul to the devil.
Or he found the fountain of youth, Mike. Come on. It could be something nice.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Or he's made a shit ton of money off of Silence of the Lambs and got some plastic surgery.
He's
I didn't even think of that.
He's injecting himself with Nick Fury serum.
He looks pretty natural to me though, I don't think he's a...
I mean, his tits are perky.
yeah.
Yeah, you gotta admit, and his ass is like, you can bounce quarters off it all day.
Oh, absolutely.
I'd bounce my balls off it all day.
God, don't tell him that. Big homophobe. That's what I hear.
Anyway,
He'll get very
the
mad at
movie.
you. And he'll turn into a wolf.
Yeah. Well, which he does in the movie. Oh,
Yeah.
fuck. Yeah, so there's werewolves in the movie. Not just
What?
one.
Did you give away a plot point?
I don't think so. I think anybody who's listening to this has either watched the movie.
I think
or
they've probably
haven't.
already seen it, at this point. So we can say,
I think it's probably already out of theaters.
It's
No,
terrible.
it's still in theaters, but
Don't watch it.
I mean, I would say it's wait for a rental.
Wait for anything
Yeah.
else.
I thought
until you go to Blockbuster and all the movies are gone except Wolfman.
they're a bit of a spoiler. Anthony Hopkins actually turns out to be a werewolf as well.
And there's a big werewolf fight.
Which is cool.
Inside a burning house.
Which is cool.
And the
Which is
script,
kinda cool.
The script turns out to be non-existent.
I mean, that was the one cool fact of the movie. Like, usually in a werewolf movie, it's just one werewolf. And you spend the whole time, in the original Werewolf, the movie, it was one werewolf, right?
Right.
But in this one, you actually have a battle of the werewolves, like two werewolves that square up.
In the original Wolfman.
Then it should have been called Wolfmen.
I agree. The English is off.
That would have given away.
But they
the
probably
twist.
would have. It probably would have given away the plot.
Yeah, because then people are going to be watching the whole time, going,
Right.
"Where's the other Wolfman going to show up?"
Right.
That's what I would have been asking.
Absolutely. But that was the coolest part of the movie to me. Actually, it was just the fight. Between
Yeah.
Anthony
I'll say there's a bit
Wolf
of,
Hopkins and Benicio Wolf del Toro.
I'll say Benicio del Toro looked like he was unhappy the whole time, and it kind of dragged down the movie for me. It looked like he didn't want to be there.
He was emo.
And he was sad. And it's like, this is supposed to be the main character. And what's really funny is they set him up in the beginning of the movie as being like a traveling Shakespearean actor. And you see him on stage for a little bit.
Yeah.
But then for the rest of the movie, it's like, this guy doesn't act like he's an act. Like he's not outgoing at all.
Well, Kevin.
He doesn't talk about stuff that he's gonna be doing.
Kevin, I think he's a brilliant actor. I mean, I think
He doesn't hand out his business card to everybody he meets. Like, come see my show. We're going to be playing at the theater.
I think he's
listen to my podcast.
I think the guy is a brilliant actor. Like, I've seen him.
Brilliant
loved
actors do shit.
I love him in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Like, the guy gained 60-some pounds just to play this character.
I did that just to to not be depressed.
He does it every week to do this podcast.
Well, there you go. But I'm saying, like, that's not nice.
I've been trying to throw out more zings. That's what I've been.
Okay.
That's what my fans have been telling me. More zings, Kevin.
We may have
More zings.
zings. And,
Yeah.
I actually think Ed looks pretty good. He's been working out a lot, and he's been losing weight.
Yeah, and it shows.
Shut up. We're talking about Wolfman.
All right.
We were.
But anyway, I was going to say, like, if you were Benicio del Toro,
Yeah.
he played a character back in the Dark Ages, essentially. Like when there's horse and carriage driven
Whoa.
stuff. You'd be unhappy too in that life.
Well, it wasn't Dark Ages. I mean,
I call it like
it's like Victorian era.
I call it the Victorian era. To me, is a very dark time.
Well, people are dressing fancy and they can't express their true feelings.
You get
but-
ravaged by disease, plague. You don't live pretty much past.
They were
35?
Didn't the movie? I don't totally remember it too well, but didn't they go to like a mental asylum for a while?
Yeah,
Wasn't
they
there
were.
like some talk about.
If it's before internet, it's the Dark Ages.
Maybe
Like back then, they didn't treat crazy people very well. They didn't know how to diagnose crazy people.
Maybe, ladies and gentlemen, we should explain a little bit about the events of that night, because it is pretty interesting.
It is pretty.
But
foggy.
I will say,
as foggy as the moon.
I will say, like we did see the movie. We were all a little drunk when we saw the movie, but just remember.
Oh, just because we had one martini?
Just remember.
Yeah.
Just for our credibility purposes,
To
remember
start
that
off with.
remember that we are professionals, so we can view these horror movies drunk,
Right.
or as Kevin
But we
might
only
be
had
high.
one martini, right?
It was 2 or 3, but we can.
Emphasis on or.
My point is, audience, we can watch these movies drunk and high or whatever, and we still offer a very good synopsis of whether you should see it or not. So,
Well, we actually have a discussion. Like, should we get drunk before the movie? Like, we all agree that the audience would rather hear our drunken reviews more than our sober.
Exactly.
You can get a sober review.
That's why we do
out of
both.
any newspaper in the U.S.
but don't try this.
You can only get drunk reviews here at the Fort Podcast.
My point is, don't try this at home. Only we can do this because we've been doing this since we were kids.
We almost got our asses kicked.
Yes,
So
Actually, we did.
would you guys like to explain?
Well,
All right. Well, we all we're 3 martinis in, and then we are 3 martinis in, and then we find our way into the theater, and then Kevin Ford starts laughing at everything.
I was sitting in the middle, so I was in a bubble.
Your laughter.
Kevin was sitting in between Ed and myself.
Yeah, it was perfect.
Yeah,
But I had this lady to my left that like slapped my leg a couple times, going like, "What's wrong with you guys? Can you guys be quiet?" And then like trying to make eye contact, but I would not make eye contact with her. I'd just be like, be nodding my head and be like, "I hear you," and it's not me, it's him.
And in my defense, I was only like semi-aware of her, like barely aware that she was having a problem.
honestly, I didn't think it was that big of a deal. Like, I don't think you guys were being.
Wait, but Mike, you were getting stuff on your end too.
Well, that's the thing. Kevin, you were just laughing at parts that like no one else was laughing at, but I do that all the time in movies. So
But-
like I can relate.
Yeah, I mean, granted, I was having a fun time, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it was wrong, and I was behaving like an obnoxious jackass. And I apologize.
Oh, that's
Here
nice
and
of you to
now.
do.
So what's your excuse for your behavior here on the podcast tonight?
You're my friends, and I love you.
Now, I mean, during the movie, like, kind of people were. I mean, to the woman to the right did actually say, "Could you please be quiet?" And
you weren't making a sound, so that kind of sucks. You got it.
well, it doesn't matter. I mean, I didn't, I was quiet, but whatever. I mean, the old lady in front of me, I think, was a little upset.
So there was 3 ladies that got upset. There was an old lady
I
in the
guess
front.
I didn't even know.
A
And,
lady
and
to the right.
to be honest, I didn't know that there was a girl next to Ed.
Neither did Kevin.
Yeah.
I kind of had
So,
a.
the
had a-
But now I
The
have to
movie
say,
ends.
look, I have to say, like, Kevin and you guys weren't like, it wasn't all the way through the movie. This was just at particular points in the movie
that were ridiculous.
Kevin
that
was.
were ridiculous. Okay. And you would just kind of laugh out. It was fine. Like, you just laughed and that's it. It wasn't, you weren't like,
Hugo Weaving's mustache was really funny. I'm
for
sorry.
the audience.
Anytime he came on, it was
Yeah.
an opportunity to laugh.
Yeah. For the audience, it wasn't like a constant barrage of just loud.
Yeah. Otherwise, some
Yeah.
guy would have came in and escorted us out. I'm sure.
Exactly. Yeah. No, it was just random points in the movie.
But we're Hollywood
Maybe-
Big Shots. We do the
maybe-
Fort podcast.
Maybe 4 or 5 points in the movie out of a 2-hour movie. You
Yeah,
know?
that's not too bad.
It was more
No.
than that. Kevin was pretty loud.
You did seem to lose a sense of spatialness and time.
Spatialness and time. In
In other words, like
those 2 hours flew.
You almost reverted back to like maybe you, Ed, and me sitting on your couch just watching your own
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
TV or whatever.
I mind traveled.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Yeah.
gotcha. Yeah.
But you know what that means?
No, he got drunk.
It means you're really comfortable
No,
with your friends.
I mind traveled, Ed. I mind traveled across space and time.
You mind traveled through 3
But
martinis.
what I thought was kind of funny was like Ed, I guess, and I didn't know this, but like the girl next to you
Yeah.
was constantly poking you, and
Yeah.
and what was she saying to you?
Will you guys be quiet? And then she was giving me like eyes like I'm talking to you.
And what did you say?
I wouldn't look back at her, and I was just like I give her the nod like I agree with you, but like I was never talking. I was just like nudge Kevin and just be like, hey, we're having a good time, but shh. But I never said shh. But
She obviously didn't have any martinis before this.
Yeah.
Before the-
no,
And
none.
she was obviously thoroughly enjoying the movie.
I don't think she was. I think she assumed
No,
she
and
was.
But then again, afterwards I thought like maybe the reason people were mad was because it's like, yeah, the movie wasn't good.
oh, they were taking it out on.
Yeah, and maybe
I
like
wa-
you were just a scapegoat.
The audience.
I was a scapegoat mind
They're
traveling.
like, I wanted to hate the movie because it's a shitty movie, but instead I hated the movie because those guys were assholes.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes
it couldn't have been the movie's fault that I had a bad time. It had to have been that guy.
because you know why? Like sometimes, like if you pay to see a bad movie,
Yeah, you
it's
feel
shitty. But then
and you're in denial.
exactly, and if you pay to see a bad movie, you're in a bad movie. But then maybe someone's laughing a little loud or whatever. You can blame it on them, like,
Yeah.
oh, it
If it
got
wa-
ruined because of that.
If it wasn't for that laughing guy, I would have loved this piece
But
of
it
shit.
wasn't because I chose to go see this movie.
Total. I agree
Yeah.
with Mike.
Yeah, and I mean,
Stop scapegoating the mind traveler, people. That's all
yeah.
I'm saying.
But anyway, it was very nice of you to apologize, Kevin. I don't think you were that boisterous. And
He didn't apologize when the movie ended. Okay, when the movie ends,
this is where it kind of got
I
interesting.
get up and I'm just like, I have to go pee, and I don't want to look at anybody in the eye. What happened to you, Mike?
Well, you guys got up, and then I got up, but I was kind of listening to the music track in the end. But then I got up, and then I was right behind Kevin, and then the blonde girl just stopped me.
She stopped you?
Yeah, she stopped me.
How? Like she grabbed your shoulder?
She just said, yeah, and she's like, you guys are just obnoxious or something like that.
Ha.
And I said, hey, I'm sorry. It was a terrible movie. It was the only thing I could think of saying. And then she just kind of shook her head, and her boyfriend was looking real pissed at me, and he was a big guy.
Oh.
And so I was thinking to myself, this isn't going to end well. But no, they just moved on. The old lady that was sitting in front of me, she put a curse on me. She's like, I curse you.
Okay. Oh, what happened to you that night after she put the curse on you?
Oh, well,
Was it
I'll
like-
get to that in a minute.
Was it like
but,
a drag me to hell kind of thing?
no, I got a bad stomach flu, and I think that was the
That's your fault, Kevin.
I think that was the extent of the curse. So I'm not too worried about it.
That is the story of my life. Like anytime I'm obnoxious and I make mistakes, I never get the brunt. Nobody ever nobody.
Well,
Nobody talked to me.
To be very honest with you, I think
It's
you
just
guys did get the brunt of it
No, I didn't get shit.
because
Ed got the brunt. You got the brunt. Nobody.
no.
said-
Like in the old lady though, like after she did, she kind of did it like laughingly though. Like she wasn't like totally.
Wait, she laughingly put a curse on you? That makes
She-
it even worse.
She kind of laughed, and then
Jinx.
all I said is like, "Hey, I'm really sorry," and then she was like, like that, and she just walked off
Because she knew it was a piece of shit movie.
Well, yeah, I think she agreed, but I just said, hey, I was very nice to her,
Like,
and then I just got the fuck out of there, and I went to the bathroom, and then I came up and met you guys, and then
So me and
this
Kev-
was a kind of funny thing. Like so we were walking, and I told you guys, I'm like, let's just get the fuck out of here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we started, and I had this. I was just intent. My mind was just intent. Get the fuck out of the theater. So I figured you guys were behind me. I just kept walking, and then I made it to the elevator. I opened the elevator, and then all these people were in the elevator, and they're like, "Hey!" They were all like excited to see me for some reason. So I walked in the elevator, and then I didn't see you guys, but then I figured you guys just took the stairs, and I'm like, oh, that's fine. I'll just take the elevator. Went up, and then you guys weren't there. What happened?
wait, why was everybody happy to see you?
I don't know. It was just like,
because you're Mike Costantini. From
no,
the
I think
podcast.
I think in the elevator, like there was just a jovial bunch of people. They were drunk, and it wasn't like, hey, Mike. They were just like, hey, it's another guy.
It's too bad they weren't
like
watching.
you're at a sushi restaurant.
Yeah, and so I just walked in.
It's too
And then I
bad
was
they
waiting
weren't.
for you guys to come in, and then you weren't there. I'm like, oh, they just took the stairs, so we went up.
They should have been watching Wolfman with us. They would have
No,
had a good time.
Me and Kevin were trying to bum cigarettes, and then that girl that was yelling at me to my left comes up to me and is like, "What is wrong with you guys? Are you guys retarded?" And I was just like, "Yes, we're retarded."
Now, this was the girl that was to the left of you.
yeah,
Okay.
and she was like, "Are you retarded?" And like, I didn't want to argue, and I did feel bad, so I was just like, "Yes, we're retarded." She's like, "No, look at me, I want to remember your face for next time." And I
That's
was like,
so funny. I was sitting right next to you, and I was just looking at her, but like, I don't know, like nothing was registering. Like I just didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like I was just looking, and like you, like since you were in between us, Like if I was
Yeah.
standing next to you, I would have got
But
it.
she was like
But you
angry
got
at
it.
me, but I never
know.
said anything.
That's hilarious.
I was like, you want to be mad at that guy, but I didn't say that because I'm a good friend.
Thanks, man.
And then she was like, oh, so you guys are going to drive home all drunk? And I was just like, oh, fuck, you're going to like tell like the...
She's gonna write down her license plate.
Yeah. So then I was like, Kevin, come on, let's go get food.
And I'm like, why?
And then, but the thing was, she was being all mouthy, and her boyfriend like was making a face like, oh
I should
my
say,
God.
like, at this point, though, everybody was fine to drive. It wasn't an issue.
No, we were wasted.
It was dangerous to get behind the wheel.
Yeah.
All right, make it more interesting.
But her boyfriend was just like, oh my God, I can't believe like he was like scared and not into it, and because she was being c-wordy. And
Well, I mean, we have to say, like, I will say personally, I know Kevin, I know Ed, and they're wonderful people, and I mean,
I am Kevin.
I have moments.
that's called a zing.
Surrounded by.
But
Hatred.
no, I mean, for this girl to do that and confront you guys, and the boyfriend, like, obviously didn't want anything to do with it.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, you guys could have been real dicks, and
No.
you could have
Oh,
you could have done something to the boyfriend, but obviously you didn't. But that guy was lucky that she
Yeah,
didn't.
That we're
piss
not
off.
crazy.
Yeah, that you guys aren't crazy, and that she
Yeah, I
didn't
don't
piss
remember.
off people.
I don't remember what he looked like. Could we have taken him? You think 2 of us?
I think any 2 guys could take 1 guy,
Me and Ed though. We're like one guy put together.
But you've seen a lot of kung fu movies. Kevin.
With that guy, like if we were angry enough, we could have taken him.
Nice.
But it's not like if it was like Shaquille O'Neal, then no.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Right. I mean, no. But you know what I mean? Like
And
the
he was.
guy.
And he probably.
Because Shaquille O'Neal has Shaq Fu.
and
I would say the girlfriend put the boyfriend in a very bad situation.
Yeah.
And it was lucky that it was you 2 guys that are nice guys and aren't
Yeah.
obviously going to do anything.
Like, who knows? We could have been crazy drunkards with
But
knives.
I mean,
you know?
yeah. Usually, like people can be very confrontational, and
Especially in this town.
yeah. I mean,
A lot of
that's
crazies out. Watch out for the crazies.
Oh,
Yeah.
let's go see that movie, The Crazies.
That would be perfect for podcast.
We should go see that. Actually, we will go see that, and we will review it.
Yes.
So, what do you say overall? What is your letter grading of? I mean, the
D.
Wolf. What's so? Ed is a D. Kevin, what about you?
I'm sticking to C+.
Okay, I'm sticking to C. That's for the sober grade. What's the drunk grade?
Wait, that was the drunk grade. There is no sober grade. We were fucked out of our asses that night.
Okay, sorry. So that was a drunk grade. Okay, now sober, what would you say the movie would be? I just lost credibility after the show.
D minus.
Yeah, D-.
D minus?
Yeah.
Wow, that's harsh.
I don't want to watch that movie sober.
I stuck to a C, like it would be a C. I thought the
I didn't even want to talk about this movie.
I'll
That's
say
how much
like I
hated
thought
it.
I thought the music was cool. I thought the light
There was.
the lighting was cool in the movie. The design was cool.
I'm giving it a C+.
I like Anthony Hopkins. I like Benicio del Toro. I still like seeing them together. It was cool. I think Benicio del Toro did the best he could with a bad script. I think they both did. So I gave it a sober C.
I'm giving it a C+ drunk just because there's werewolves, people get killed, there's blood. It looked cool. Like production design wise, lighting, everything. It had a style to it.
Right.
It was very stylistic.
Yeah.
Over stylized.
I like style in a movie sometimes. It's unfortunate that the script didn't match the movie.
But as soon as they start talking to each other, that's when I just started laughing.
Yeah.
Just the dialogue was so retarded.
And it didn't have to be that either. I just didn't understand that. There's been so many brilliant scripts about werewolves written.
But anytime anybody writes in that era,
Yeah.
it just comes off really silly and hokey.
I guess it can. Yeah, maybe it's the time period because you look at American Werewolf in London.
Yeah, and we can relate to that. 'cause,
Exactly.
yeah,
I mean, that's one of the
Because we're
most
Americans.
famous.
Yep.
That's one of the most famous movies, about werewolves. But the script was good too. It wasn't hokey. It wasn't anything.
Same special effects guy in both
Yeah.
movies. Rick Baker did
Right.
werewolf effects.
But
for both
I've
films.
got to be honest. I've seen the original Wolfman in black and white, and to me, that's not a hokey movie. I like that movie. It's great. It's for the time period that it was filmed in. I thought it was a wonderful,
Did
wonderful
we
movie.
talk about the origin of werewolves?
I don't believe so.
No, because I had a conversation with someone about this, and I don't think I was trying to remember if we talked about it. But basically, where the origin of werewolves came from was that
This is the true myth, right? That you're
Yeah.
talking about? Yeah.
it was in Paris, and there was a dog-like creature with human shoulders that was like killing like livestock.
Some might say it's a dog-faced god.
Well, what it was someone had a hyena in their menagerie, and so like in their like originally like the myth about the werewolf was that they were laughing, like it was like kind of like.
Well, that would make sense, yeah.
Oh, wait, where did you hear that? Was it on NPR?
No, it wasn't on NPR. I had this conversation with someone. I thought it was with you guys because we talk about stupid shit.
No, Andrew Hansen was talking to me about
I would
this.
never talk to him.
No, he was telling me about the hyena wolf connection, and there was a guy in Paris and yada yada. But anyway, yeah, so it was a hyena that escaped out of some guy's menagerie and was eating livestock.
And it was eating livestock, and I guess attacked a couple of people. So
And
in
it was
the original legend of
Eating livestock, that almost sounds like the chupacabra, really. That's very strange.
Chupacabra is very werewolfish.
Yeah, exactly.
In
And
myth.
I just happen to wonder, just the myth of the vampire came from tuberculosis because when people died of tuberculosis, after they died, like blood would seep out from their noses and their mouths.
And they turn into a bat and fly away.
Yes. No. But the idea was that they were bloodsuckers, and that's where the vampires came from. So
And-
I wonder if like the Loch Ness monster, everything, Bigfoot, has somehow evolved. I mean, Bigfoot, Bigfoot's like a big werewolf, right?
The legend of the creature from Black Lagoon is an underwater demon would come and steal girls from the beaches.
Well, there you go.
It wasn't a gill man
And
at all. It was actually a demon.
Yeah, as it turned out, it was it was a demon and not a creature.
It was on Mythbusters. Yeah, they figured it out. Now,
Well,
Ed, but you believe in Chupacabra, right? Because you're Mexican?
Yeah, fuck you.
No, you and your people subscribe to the myth of Chupacabra. They're like you have a fear ingrained in your DNA that a mythical beast will come and eat your sheep during the night.
No, I don't.
That's
I
not
have to
true.
say though, Ed, like I want to.
You're so racist.
I didn't think I was racist. I thought that was a fact. Sorry.
One of the
a
things.
crazy person doesn't think that they're crazy, Kevin.
Well, I was going to say, Ed, like one of the things I want to do with all the money I make from this podcast and the rich and, fortune, I would like to go seek out the Chupacabra, and I could use a good man like you down in Mexico.
Yeah, because you're a true believer.
And also you can get me around.
How?
And we'll work together. We'll take a picture of the Chupacabra together.
And you can lure the Chupacabra with the scent of your Mexican blood. Just like cut your hand and like
I'm gonna kill you, Kevin.
And he'll come
Ford.
running. Just let a couple drops out, and the Chupacabra will come running.
Anyway,
for
the
Ed.
Ford podcast is going to be now me and Mike Husatini. Tune in next week.
Unless the Chupacabra doesn't get you first. Oh,
Yeah, Chupacabra is going to kill Kevin Ford.
you can't see this at home, folks, but Ed's sweating bullets right now. Talking about Chupacabra.
No, I'm just sweating actual fat grease.
We'll make fun of Mike's Italian heritage next week.
That's fine.
Yeah, so Wolfman, don't watch it. That's the consensus.
Yeah, I would say.
Go see House of the Devil.
Yeah, House of the Devil has been by far the best movie we've reviewed yet.
Go out and rent House of the Devil.
It's
it
worth
was
it.
really worth it. It was a great movie. Great.
Since we've reviewed it, I've been thinking about watching it a second time.
I'll watch it a third time with you.
Yeah, in fact, maybe we should all get together and we'll watch it again. Together, actually, this time.
And we'll do a double review.
Yeah.
Won't that be entertaining?
That was a fantastic movie.
Every week we'll review House of the Devil under different circumstances.
Yeah. So,
We watched it upside down this week.
The Wolfman, it's an entertaining movie to watch.
If you're a baby.
Yes, and maybe it's a rental. I think it's a rental.
Yeah.
So don't waste your time seeing that. Go see out,
that baby
go see other stuff you
blockbuster.
want to see.
Yeah, there's lots of
There's lots of good movies out there right now that
Do your laundry. Call your mom. Don't watch Werewolf.
Have a 2-hour conversation with your mom. It will be more fun than watching Wolfman.
If you like werewolves, you're not going to like this movie.
Ooh.
If you like
Bold
happiness,
statement.
you're not going to like this movie.
Yeah. But anyway, guys, thank you for listening.
Yeah, thanks for listening to the podcast.
And
everybody.
we hope you enjoyed the show, and we will be back.
Yeah, there's tons more. Visit the website at
thefortcast.com.
And review it.
And go to iTunes. Yeah, actually, now we have a link to iTunes on thefortcast.com. You could subscribe, to iTunes, or you could subscribe directly to the RSS feed itself. And that's all on the website. It's
But
on the
when you're
front
on
page.
iTunes, review it.
Review it, good or bad. We'll take anything.
No, good.
No, give it 5 stars. Anything less than 5 stars,
Even if
and
you hate
honest
it,
to God, you'll get a virus on your computer that'll set your homepage to like nasty bestiality porn.
We may not be.
But if you give it 5 stars, you'll get an antivirus that will give you a bigger dick.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. That's good enough. And yes, please feel free, leave comments.
Mike's a genius with viruses. So it's all true.
No, it's not. I'm not. I don't do viruses. Just leave a comment on the website if you want. Leave a comment on the iTunes.
Yeah.
Rate it.
Please do.
Whatever you want.
If you
enjoy the show.
If you want to hear more House of the Devil reviews, you gotta let us know. Leave comments.
And send us gifts.
All right, guys. We're out, and we will see you soon.